Dakota's Capitol building will undergo major changes next year to become more accessible for people with disabilities. Reporter Maddie Beer-Temple has more on what those upgrades will look like.
If you don't have disabilities, you might not think about the difficulties with doors in the Capitol, like how hard they can be to open.
So if they're pushing this, it has to be less than 5 pounds.
Or if they're wide enough to meet the ADA standard of 36 inches.
But each one of these doors is 30 inches.
Or if the knob has a lever for those who might not be able to grip the handle.
And we just replaced that.
Royce Schultz knows these issues firsthand. Schultz has been coming to the Capitol for decades to advocate for those with disabilities.
They're too narrow that you can't get a chair through. Or if you can, you're hitting the sides and making a bunch of noise.
But it's not just the doors. Many signs don't have braille, rooms don't have hearing devices, and there aren't family restrooms, so those with an opposite-sex helper can have access. Facilities Director John Boyle has been working to fix this thanks to newly approved funding for upgrades.
There are some deficiencies that we definitely need to address.
Lawmakers this past session approved $750,000 to make changes.
It's very important to the individuals that need these accessibility issues addressed. That's, you know, for a person that has no disability, it's not an issue at all. But for those individuals, it can be very difficult.
The law has an emergency clause, meaning it could take effect as soon as it was signed into law. But the progress has been slower than Schultz expected.
I was under the impression with the emergency clause that they could get going on this right away. So, yeah, it's a little frustrating that nothing has been done since then.
Boyle says there's a lot of steps in the process, from getting an architect familiar with the ADA to point out the changes needed, to having lawmakers approve the changes, to getting a bid for a construction company. Plus, with lumber and supply shortages, changes won't happen until early next year. Regardless of the delay, Schultz says it'll still be an improvement.
It's going to be really nice to be able to, actually get in the doors without waiting for somebody to open it up for you. It's going to give us the independence to come and go as we want instead of waiting for somebody else to let us in and out.
A panel of lawmakers will meet September 30th to vote on the changes. Reporting in Bismarck for KX News, Maddie Beer-Temple.
Schultz also pointed out that these changes won't just benefit those with disabilities. They'll make it easier for anyone using the Capitol to get around. The project has to be finished before the next legislative session in 2023.